Hello and namaste. This is Neeraj here and welcome to my channel. I wanted to make a short video on recent report today I saw in some online that government of Indian government is considering come out with some kind of a gold amnesty scheme. So I wanted to talk about it, what is the give update about this and how it is going to impact in generally the market economy or the gold and silver prices, and which are the how one can play this basically, and what my view about this kind of scheme, if at all it comes. So welcome, and before if I start this video, I request all of you, if you have not yet subscribed till now, you please subscribe it, and if you like this video, you put a like and share it with your maximum friends, and so that if you subscribe, because I keep coming out with always some unique and novel ideas, and if you have subscribed and put the notification button, then you will get these videos as soon as I come out. Without wasting much time, so let's start it. So I read today's report in some newspaper, in online portal, also in Bloomberg also it was flashing that government of India is thinking of coming out with a gold amnesty scheme, like they did it in 2015. What is gold amnesty scheme? Is they said that government, because in India majority of the people, everybody is holding gold, and gold in form of jewelry, or in generally, because it's considered to be good, as well as the protection against inflation, and generally protection against the uncertainty of the life and economics, and considered to be an asset for the future problems people may have, so that they can, when this is kind of a savings in form of. So all this is considered to be, gold is considered to be very precious, not only precious, very holy and pure, and for religious purposes, and for cosmetic, and for wedding and marriage purposes, and all kinds of it's considered to be lucky thing, and nobody wants to sell it. Nobody wants to, because it's considered that Lakshmi will go. Lakshmi, that is goddess of wealth. If if you lose gold, or somehow sometimes somebody misplace, or its gold is stolen, it's considered to be unlucky also. So why government is coming out with this thing? They think that by coming out with this kind of gold amnesty scheme, they can they can take out the gold from the citizens' hands, which are uncounted for, because which is not paid for legally. They have not bought this gold, and that way they can find out about this taxation, and by putting this scheme, they can actually lure, entice all these citizens to come out with undeclared jewelry, which they have not declared officially in their income, and by charging a nominal some levies and penalties, and that it converts into the white or the professional income. But I would it is my personal view is that this is a very not a good move, particularly in the times of this COVID pandemic, which has brought havoc in the lives of people and economic of this world and the country, and everybody is still struggling. Things have not become normal, and you come out and try to, instead of helping citizens, you try to put them further under stress, and by all this tax raj, and this is which is not going to help the investor sentiments in generally also. And particularly they had failed. This government in 2015 will also come out with similar kind of a gold amnesty kind of a scheme, which failed absolutely. It failed very badly. So I don't know why they keep on repeating the same kind of mistakes, which doesn't help in terms of revenue or incremental anything. It only vitiates the atmosphere, economic atmosphere, and vitiates the investor sentiments in India, and they lose confidence in the government ability to care for their wellness or welfare. So I just to give you little bit about this another two mistakes which this government had done, is that in the past they had come out with a long-term capital gains tax, and what happened after that, market tanked and continued to remain tanked for 2 years, long years, and government didn't give a single dhela, or it get just nil from that LTCG tax, big zero. And then they had come out with this. Now recently they have come out and amended that dividend distribution tax on RET, and then they what they had to do, when they come out with these schemes without thinking and hurting sentiments, and then they have to roll it back, means they have to, whatever they spit, before spitting they don't think, and then they have to lick that spit back, because they understand that this is, so why government is again doing the same mistake, that is beyond my comprehension. Anyway, let's talk about what if it comes out, because this is all unconfirmed news that government is still thinking. It may or may not happen, I don't know. But suppose if it happens, then what it will do is that it will actually further drive the investors towards this hoarding more gold and go on the gold buying spree, and illegally or legally, and it will actually encourage more smuggling and gold, and basically people will rush to buy more gold. And if it is comes out, and then instead of gold, people will buy then more silver. So there are always avenues of people, because precious metal always attracts, particularly in India. It is a very big attraction, as it's considered to be the recession or the inflation proof and the future asset for the future problems. You can liquidate this, and it helps in that when the people come across some economic financial crisis in their life. So these two things can happen. That gold demand increases, in the sense that people rush for the buying gold, and people rush for buying silver, thinking that if the gold goes, then the silver is. So these two prices in that scenario, and India being a big consumption country of this, one of the biggest, which gold and silver is bought by India, because Indians love this. So this will drive the international prices in with this kind of a news, it happens or not. And how to play this? So the best way to play, in my view, is that there is a company. Recently we had, last week, in this week only, we had come out with a video on that silver speculation started, and it may touch $35 per ounce. So best play is that, instead of, if you don't want directly buy silver, then best play is that to stock market you buy Hindustan Zinc. I will put that link, that YouTube link, also into the description box below for other viewers who have not gone through this. So in that continuity, I believe that for gold and silver also, if this kind of things drives up prices, which I believe it may, is Hindalco becomes another very unique player. Why Hindalco? There are numerous gold jewelry retail companies in the stock market in India and somewhere else, but they are basically, they are retail, because it is driven by the consumer sentiments and consumer, not by the gold prices as such. Their earnings are not determined by the gold prices as such. So this Hindalco, why Hindalco? If you look at Hindalco, they have this copper and aluminum business, right? Basically, this core business is copper, aluminum. So out of that around 10% of the EBITDA, that is earnings before interest and depreciation and tax, of Hindalco in the consolidated basis comes from the copper division. And now for the copper, they buy this concentrate from the outside. They import this copper concentrate, is imported. So along with the copper concentrate, I had told in some of my previous videos also that you get in that concentrate, you get gold, silver, and some other metals also, like platinum, palladium, and selenium. So these are all this precious kind of metals. So just to take this, that 10% of the EBITDA of Hindalco comes from the copper division, and out of that, if you look at the March result, they had done around 4 billion rupees EBITDA from the copper division. And generally, on a quarterly basis, because all this production, or these are byproducts, basically silver, gold, selenium, platinum, palladium, byproducts of the copper production. So the increase in the copper production, that volume or the production of these byproducts depends on the production volume of copper cathodes and copper CC rods, basically. So on an average, if you look at it, on an average quarterly, they make around they produce around byproduct, as a byproduct, gold is about 500 kg gold per quarter, and around around 4,000 kg of silver per quarter. So around 16,000 kg of silver per year, and around 2,000 something kg of gold per year. So just take this. If you look at this thing, they make up, out of this EBITDA of 4 billion rupees EBITDA, which was in the March quarter, this company on the copper division made this EBITDA. Out of that, 70% consisted of this gold and silver profits only from this gold and silver sales volume. And now from March to June, if you look at this, gold prices have gone up by 12% and the silver prices has gone up by 18%. And on an average, if you look at in a year, in this year it has gone up by 30, gold prices have gone up by 35% and silver prices have gone up by 46%. So if this trend remains continued, so you will see much better performance. So even if you know that contribution into EBITDA from the copper business goes from 10% to say 14 or 15% also, it directly adds to the profit of the company or the EPS of the company, because these are the profits which is derived from the byproducts. So you don't incur much cost. So whatever the earnings happens, it directly goes into the bottom line. So that's the reason I just wanted to give you an update regarding this news and how you can play out if it happens. So that's it from my side. This Hindalco and Hindustan Zinc one can look into. Please share it, and if you like, you put a like. That's it from my side. Ciao from Neeraj from Moscow.